Welcome to the UGC EPG Pathshala lecture series in computer science. In this series of lectures, we have been looking at the paper software engineering. This session will be a continuation of the previous session, where we have given the importance of personal software process, and in this session also we will be continuing on personal software process, but over which we will also be explaining about team software process. As we have indicated in the previous session, that three things are quite important from the organization's perspective. One is on CMM, which is capability maturity model. The second point is on the TSP, which is team software process, and the last one is on the personal software process, which is PSP. So, I continue doing with the same list of learning objectives that we have seen already, but with a more detailed session on what is the management roles in terms of personal software process. So, if you have a doubt on the management supports towards personal software process, every member associated with the team should be self-directed. So, management will commonly agree on the own risk as long as they believe that they are doing a superior job. So, to convince all of them, it is our responsibility to maintain precise and accurate plans, measure and track your work, regularly show management that you are doing a superior work. So, these are the three common practices that we may have to adopt: maintaining accuracy of the work, accuracy of the plans. We may have to track on the work that we tend to do. We may also have to regularly show management that we are doing a superior job. So, PSP gives you a complete guideline of how to do this. When we talk about the fundamental principles that are associated with personal software process, the management perspective, from the management's perspective, every engineer is completely different. So, to be more effective, engineers are to plan their work and they have to create their base plans on their own personal data. So, this needs to be consistent for it to improvise on their performance. Not only that, they may have to maintain a well defined and measured process, following which the systems will produce quality products. Engineers must feel personally responsible for the quality of the project. It is not the quality that will be brought about at the end of the product, it is the quality that will be brought about from all stages, starting from every person. Over and above, the same will have its implication on the cost. To find and fix defects earlier in the process, then we may have to fix the same defects later in the stage. So, we may have to adopt right ways which makes it faster and the cheapest way to do a job. So, what does this PSP provide us? By understanding the personal software process, we are able to maintain a stable and a mature personal software process, which permits us or allows us to estimate and plan our work, meet the commitments, resist unreasonable commitment pressures. So, if at all we have scheduled for our work for a certain duration, we may also have to resist ourselves that we can not go on a pressurable work. So, you may also have to look at or understand your current performance and be equipped to improve your capability. Further, personal software process also provides us a proven basis for developing and using an industrial strength personal process, and it gives us a discipline that shows how to improve all the personal processes, the data to continually improve the productivity of the software. Not only that, the quality of work being carried out and the predictability of the work. In terms of learning associated with the personal software process, this personal software process is being introduced in 6 upward compatible steps, starting from you may have to write one or more module sized programs at each step. Not only that, you try to gather and analyze data on all the work. So, that becomes the analytics of the work. You use the results to improve your personal performance. So, this has been indicated here at level 0, level 1, level 2, and finally handing it over to team software process. But then we have an improvised version which is PSP 0.1, and for every other stage we have an improvised version associated, which actually indicates if we are at personal software process level 0, we may have to establish a measured performance baseline, which indicates on what are the current set of processes that we are available with, the time at which we are about to start. So, we may have to record those time periods. Not only that, for every line of code we write, we may have to record the defect that we have come across, and we maintain the defect type standard also. That happens over and above in the improvised version, which says on the coding standard that we have studied. We also look at the size measurement in terms of number of lines of code and the effort, and further we also looked at the process improvement proposal, which is PIP. So, from this stage everything has been monitored, recorded, and has been pushed to a next phase, which is PSP 1. The major responsibility of PSP 1 is to assure on the size, resource, and the plans for a detailed scheduling. So, we estimate on the size of the project either in terms of lines of code or in terms of effort, and so. So, after estimating, we prepare a detailed test report, and as an improved version with 1.1, we can create a task planning schedule, and we plan for the schedule also. So, this in turn is been given to the code module, where you practice defect and yield what this supposed to manage. So, we have code reviews and design reviews which happens as part of PSP level 2, and we create design templates as an improvised version. After having done, we deliberately produce this to a team development level, who will manage the further of the activity. So, in detail, if you are about to look at phase 0, the emphasis is majorly given for the personal management, where we look at the current process and its basic measures like development time, number of defects that are injected and removed. Looking at processes, we have planning, development, and analysis which are involved at level 0. As an improvement to point 1, where again we emphasize on the personal management, but then we understand the coding standards. We look at PIP, which is process improvement proposal, and we also look at the size measurements. At level 1, we look at the person's planning, where we probe and look for the size estimate of the project, the time estimate allotted, and prepare a detailed test report. As an increment to that level 1.1, we are supposed to do a task plan and schedule plan. And at level 2, we emphasize on person's quality, where we understand the defect management, code reviews, design reviews, and as an improvement we specify the design, analyze on the design, we understand the amount of defects that are to be prevented. We also look at the process analysis and create a benchmark for the process, and this is being scaled up as a cyclic development and has been produced to a team software process. So, these were the 6 set of tasks that we were looking at in the beginning. So, when we look at the overall strategy for personal software process, we initially collect all the data and do a little bit of analytics to estimate and plan, and to improvise on the quality, we manage with the defects and try finding what is the yield and manage with the yield. The basic purpose with which we have started to do all this job of PSP is to control on the quality and the cost. So, when we look at the design methods in specific, PSP does not provide any specific design method, rather it insisted on the design completion. So, we wanted the design to be complete with utmost quality rather than creating a method allotted with it. So, it recommends to make sure the following are existing. Say for example, in order to create an overall description of a particular process, if what all we wanted to create a schema, we need to have external static, external dynamic, internal static, internal dynamic with all these as its parameters. But then setting up those things as our goals, PSP produces certain results. PSP in turn tries to improvise on the estimation. So, there will be an improvement towards doing and cost and time estimation. So, we see reduced variance which has led to better scheduling and staffing. Not only that, the overall compilation of test defects has been reduced in large volume, which is correlated with the reduced customer detected failures. So, at the management level, the management has to appreciate the feedback from the customer saying that because of the number of defect reduction, the person has improvised on the quality of the work, and overall estimation and improvement of estimation and the reduction of test defect, we go largely on the productivity improvement. So, what are the benefits by looking at the different goals and the strategies and finally looking at the defects? Here it is the time to understand on the benefits of personal software process. Because of this establishment of personal software process, this leads to increase personal commitment by investing each engineer with process responsibility. So, now that every engineer will clearly understand their own responsibilities on how to handle on the various processes, thereby their personal commitment also tried increasing, and this assists engineers in making accurate plans. Not only that, this also provides engineers to improve on personal and project quality. Because of all the above things that we have discussed, now it is appropriate time for us to set a benchmark to measure on the personal process improvement. Further, this also acts to demonstrate the impact of process change on an engineer's performance. So, that has led us with the discussion on personal software process, where the person's quality and the overall process quality, project quality has improvised. But then because of the team getting better understanding of what a person has intended to say, what a person has wishes to convey need to be clearly understood. So, between a capability maturity model at the management level and the personal software process at the individual level, it is a responsibility of a team software process to carry it to the next level. So, this team software process has also been defined by Humphrey, who works for Software Engineering Institute. He finds himself that there needs to be a software process which has to be initiated between a person and the management. So, it is a team's responsibility, and typically a size of a team need to be between 2 and 20 members associated. There can be multiple teams which can lead up to 150 members also is permissible, and there can be tradition of statistical process control, which happens in an iterative process of 4 to 5 month cycles. And because of this team software process, we are about to write scripts and forms, which we have actually done it for personal software process. So, looking at the description and the size of the team, a team should consist of at least 2 people. If it is less than 2, then it becomes a personal software process where we personally understand every person's characteristics and the quality that are to be maintained. So, a typical size that we expect on a team should be more than 2. The members who are working for a team should work for a common goal, and every person who is associated with the team are assigned a specific role. So, there is a completion of mission which requires some form of dependency among the groups. So, already we have indicated that any personal software processes need to be cohesive in nature. That means, they need to be functionally strong, so that they help the project to be delivered with utmost quality. Now that it is time for us to look at the coupling that need to be happening between two different teams. So, the dependency need to be created, and further at later stages we may have to create intra and interdependencies also. So, what do we expect from an effective team? In order to be a member of an effective team, all the members who are associated in the team need to be skilled. That means, they are to be properly trained in a platform for which they have to work. The team's goal is important, defined, visible, and should be realistic. And the resources associated with the team should be adequate for doing the job. The members should be motivated and committed to meeting the team's goals, and the members should cooperate and support each other in a disciplined way to complete the entire job. Although it has been said that a person or a team should have all the effective qualities, but then it is very difficult for us to build a specific team. If at all I am to build a strong team, then as we have said earlier, we may have to establish a common goal, and there should be a defined set of roles associated for every team, and the team has to develop an agreed upon common strategy that they follow. Further, the team members define a common process for their work, and all the associated team members should participate in producing the plan, and each member should know the responsibility associated with their plan. And further, the team has to negotiate for the plan with the management so as to better qualify for the next level. Not only that, it is the responsibility of the management to cleanly review on everything that a team has done and accept the negotiated plan. The team members will do their job in a way that they have planned to do it. The management should support the team. They may have to communicate freely and often. The team forms a cohesive group where the members has to cooperate, and every single entity or any detail need to be committed towards every engineer knows their own status as they have undergone a course on PSP. They try getting their feedback on their work and create a leadership skill that sustains their motivation. So, this will be the launch for the team software process, where at day 1 we will try establishing on the product and business goals. Further, we assign roles and define the team goals. Then it will be submitted for development strategy, creation of development strategy, that happens at 1 day. Further, this will be given for top down and next phase plan for it to build, develop a quality plan, build a bottom up and balanced plan, where top down in turn it means in the umbrella diagram that we have given, if we look at from the management level, it becomes a top down approach, and if we start from the personal software process level, it will be a bottom up approach. So, on day 3 we conduct a risk assessment, we prepare management who are briefing and launching a complete report, and at day 4 we have to hold a management review, perform a launch post-mortem, and we create a new team which does the complete of team software process review. So, the strategy with which we may have to create this team includes conceptual design for the product, It also has to decide on the produced life cycle. It also has to ensure the ways in which we can make initial size and effort estimates which was produced from the personal software process, and try establishing a configuration management plan again. So, looking at the responsibilities, the roles of every single member associated at the team. So, we may have to select the roles of every member. So, people who are involved at the team software process will be defined or given designation of team leader, development manager, planning manager, quality process manager, support manager, customer interface manager, design manager, test manager, safety manager, security manager and performance manager. So, the responsibility of every manager associated at this level varies, and at the same time it is a person's individual quality which ensures on the team's process development. So, when you individually look at, to say it as an example, for a team leader, the various responsibilities associated with the team leader are to motivate the team members, to handle the various issues that come out or that arise out of customer. At times he has to interact with the manager to negotiate on the plans. He may also have to look for the day-to-day direction of the work, protecting the team resources, resolving the team issues, conducting various review and team meetings, reporting the status of the work. So, likewise, it is the responsibility of every manager, starting from the team leader to the performance manager. They have their own set of defined responsibilities for their roles. If at all we look at the guideline associated, quality guideline associated with the team software process, if you look for the percentage of modules, how much the code has to be defect free at the entrance to the production of project. So, once after completion it should be greater than 10%, for unit testing it should be more than 50%, for integration test it should be more than 70%, and for system test it should be more than 90%. That means the product should be defect free at various stages. After having done a system test, the project should be 90% defect free. And if you look for the number of defects per lines of code, this is an alternate to what we have developed, where the total defects injected will be between 75 and 150, and if a person is not trained across in the PSP platform, so it will be between 100 and 200, where the number of defects should be less than 10 at the compilation stage. And if you see to the decrease of the value after having performed a system test, it will be only 0.2 for every defect or for every line of code that we do. So, if you look at the defect free environment on the modules, it should be more than 90% after having done a system test. Likewise, if you look at the number of defects per kilo line of code, it should be only 0.2%. And further, if you look at the defect ratio, we are going for a detailed design review defect per unit test defect, which should be greater than 2%, and code review defects for every compiled defect should be greater than also 2%. More and above, to ensure on the quality of the product, we may also have to look at the development time ratio, which indicates the requirements inspection for every requirement time should be greater than 0.25 times elicitation in the requirement time. And if you look at the high level design inspection for every high level design time should be more than 0.5 times of design. Detailed design for every coding time should be more than 1%. Detailed design review for every detailed design time should be more than 5%, and code review for every code time should be more than 5%. Likewise, we again rate for the reviews and inspections also. But then the final achievement that we tend to produce will be a qualitative plan, wherein we estimate the defect injection rate for every phase. We also estimate on the yield for every phase. We also try to generate the quality plan, compare the quality plan with the goal associated with the team, where we examine to produce quality at each phase of the product. Finally, we tend to modify the time planned for defect removal if the quality plans are not satisfied. And finally, this has been audited or we generate trial plans until the quality of the goal are being satisfied. So, this is the quality profile that is associated with every component. Say for example, if we look at the detailed design time, this should be greater than or equal to the coding time, and somewhere in between if you look at the compile defects should be less than or equal to 10 per KLOC. So, at the compilation level it should be less than 10 in number for every line of code, for every kilo line of code. So, many defect free components does not or do not meet this criteria. So, because of which we do not ensure on the overall quality of the product. After having undergone a process of personal software and team software process, we may have to ensure that every product has by in turn builds a quality profile. So, in summary, we have been looking at two different processes. One is a personal software process and team software process. The objective with which we have started with the personal software process is to make a personal manage the overall project over different phases and how he performs when it has been built as a team. So, PSP generally tries to set out principal practices for defining, measuring and analyzing individuals' own processes, and this will surely enhance on the performance of industrial strength software process. Not only that, this also tries to understand the methods, various methods that are more effective for it to develop, and by way of undergoing a personal software process and a team software process, we are intended to do a better job in comparison with the normal process, and this would benefit in long term to achieve the improvement goals. Thank you.